Buenos dias, bonjour, bonjour, good afternoon, alright? And welcome back to another video, Heirs of Our Father's Promise. And we're here today, of course you should already know, we're here to learn, to not dispute, to not argue, but to talk about the truth, alright? The truth of today's words is about what? Your heart posture and your integrity on where you stand. And why is that important? We're going to be discussing that. Now, why is integrity in your heart posture important? Your integrity is important because why? When you are dealing, right, with trust and loyalty, we have trauma that becomes somewhat of a suffice that we put in our lives. That could be a blockage in, who knows, your favor, your gifts, the things that Yahuwah has in promise for you. For in Yahushua, Yahusha, in him Yahuwah Elohim Adonai, he has every reason to give you everything that you want. But remember, the people that you're around, they may be a cause of your stagnation. The people that you're gonna come to be around in the future, they're gonna be a cause to your stagnation. But that doesn't mean that it's not gonna happen. That doesn't mean it's gonna stop you. This is all it means. When you deal, right, with a lot of people, right, that literally want to bring you down. They can only bring you down but for so long. Life is about accepting. Because when you accept, right, what happens when you accept? When you accept, you allow things, even the bad, to come to you. And mind you, remember, if you watch any of my videos, that everything that happens, the good and the bad in your life, is for Yahuwah's glory to be made manifested. So you can do everything that you want, right? It's not going to change anything. It's not. You can do everything that you want. It's not going to change anything. And the reason why it's not going to change anything is because when you realize that a lot of people, right, when a lot of people make mistakes, right, what do they gravitate to? They gravitate to their misery. They gravitate to the things that they done wrong rather than just accepting that they did wrong, right? And forgive themselves, my apologies, and forgive themselves and move forward and ask for forgiveness from Yahuwah. They get stuck. So what do you think the enemy does? Your heart posture is stuck in the past. So your integrity can be defiled. It can be contradicted because now you're going to be like, oh, I did it before, and you haven't forgiven yourself. You haven't asked for forgiveness. Now they're going to make it seem like it's all right for you to just keep going back to it. Like dealing with talking to multiple peoples, right? That's like sex is an act of healing. There's a lot that comes with sex. Sex can be is everything spiritual related, is everything emotional related, is everything mentally related and physical related. So a lot of people are just out here trading spirits. Like you have a lot of celebrities that talk of, swinging and stuff like that, right? Exchanging their demons, right? Exchanging their demons. And that's also a formal way of saying contract to rituals, because that's what that is. Because a lot of them, they swing, they don't care about where to swing at. It could be girl on girl, boy on boy, whatever, different partners switching. It's none of my concern. It doesn't concern me, right? But all of those things, when you think about it, right, what is really happening here? Because mind you, what did I give you guys a definition of what a spirit is? It's a consciousness, right? A consciousnness, a likeness of an effect that is being played. So a lot of people are going through, what is that, panthos type of belief, where they believe in the aspect of nature, of the spiritual, what they call it again, occult, the spiritual occult activities that people do. That's probably the best way to say it right now. Um, My apologies. That water was gracious. Thank you, Yahuwah. Oh my goodness. But yeah, yeah. They go through a lot of these rituals, and all of these things happen because of what the influence that they put in their body. There's so many things in life where you gotta understand that everything is like an activity, is like an effect, right? When you have something that influence you, you are still yourself. When people talk about selling your soul and all of these things, it's not like, oh, I'm gonna take your soul out of your body. It's more so, imagine it like having some type of temple, right? You have a kingdom or some type of castle, right? And now you're sharing your castle with a whole bunch of people, and that castle is like a generator, right? A generator that controls the motor of your entire body. That's what it means to project, right? That's what it means to hone, to keep all of these things in accordance. So when you have demonic possession, right? These demons, they enter into you, they possess you, and you wouldn't even know. A lot of people think that like selling your soul is to give away your soul. No, it's to share your body because that's what they want. They want a body. They don't care for the spirit. They just want your body. And I'm gonna tell you the reason why they want your body. And mind you, if you watched my previous videos, right, I give you guys a great explanation of what devils means. When you spell everything that, remember this, the devils, the demons, the fallens, right? They are they are copycats. They try to do everything that Elohim does, meaning they try to copy him. They try to copy everything that the creator does. So what they do is they reverse everything. So when you spell devil backwards, it says what? Lived, right? Lived. The one that once lived. The ones that once lived, right? So if they once lived, what was something that died will want the most if they no longer have? They will want a body. Just like a poltergeist, a ghost, a spirit, they want a body, right? They don't want your soul. They want the opportunity to be able to feel, to experience human experiences again. It's not just devils, it's also demons and fallens, right? Because you have lesser demons and you have greater demons. All of them, they want a body. That's why they possess. That's why they make contracts in exchange for your soul. And I want people to understand what the word soul means. A soul is not the how can I put it? A soul is not the spiritual aspect of your essence in the spiritual realm. Your soul, right, is literally the formation of your consciousness, meaning the fragment of the spirit that's given unto you from the characteristics of where you come from. Meaning, if Yahuwah, right, if Elohim has a personality, if he has a characteristic, right, meaning if he can be angry, if he can be sad, if he can be happy, right, and we all were able to inherit those characteristics from him, right? Those characteristics manifested in a different aspect of a reality so that we can have a subconscious of our own individual lives. So that being the characteristics, that's what we consider what a soul, a fragment that is given a body. Remember this, all of the ones that we call Nephilims, the giants that were made between man and the fallen, and the fallen and the fallens, right? What were they after? What were they given that the fallens did not have? They were given a body because they came from women, right? They came from human women. They were birthed, but they were not meant to be. That's why they were considered abominations. And what happened as to why they were destroyed is because of sin, but not because of only a sin, but because they were destroying the body that Yahuwah made, meaning they were devouring the cattle, they were destroying the seas, they were destroying the land, they were causing war as of the moment as to what everything is going on right now is the possession of demons and giants. That's who is really operating. They are the agents of everything that's going on here. Now, between the fallen, right? Between the fallens, who are what? The higher beings that were considered the watchers, right? The watchers, not all watchers, but majority of the watchers, right? They were considered, and some of the higher arc of angels that once fell, well, that did fall, right? They're not even that big of a threat as far as disobedience to Yahuwah, more than the actual giants, the Nephilims. They're not that big of a threat. See, people don't even know that the Nephilims went against the fallen ones. They went against the Lucifers. They went against all of the bigger, higher arc fallen angels that used to be angels. They warred against them, and they lost. Majority of them lost, and they pledged their allegiance. So when they were once given power in a body, right? They were when they were given a body, they ended up abusing that body and started destroying everything. So what happened? Because they started also corrupting humanity. So what did Yahuwah did? Yahuwah destroyed every last one of them. He destroyed he destroyed majority of them, because there are still giants that are alive. But we don't even know, because we don't know that they're still alive, because their lifespan have been cut short, and some of them, they had generations of children, and we don't see their children because they don't live on the same plane as we do. Remember this: if you're born of spirit and you're born of the flesh, that means that you are able to become invisible to the flesh. So you no longer live in the aspect of this realm, but you live in the aspect of the different dimensions that exist between these realms. Does that make sense? Because just like visible light and invisible light, these half beings, right? These half wits, right? They were not beings like us. Mind you, when you see a skin, right, it's carbonized. When something is not carbonized, you can see through it and it reflects a certain amount of light. So they were not beings that were that were just carbonized. They were radiating beings. So some light were not reflective to them. That means also that some kingdoms and some areas of land is not visible to us, because we don't have those traits. Even though we do, but we don't. Okay, I want you guys to understand it. That's why I said know exactly, like I say in my previous videos, know exactly the type of activities that's being given to you, as far as whatever that you're dealing with, whatever demons that you're dealing with. Make sure that you know, or devils, or whatever fallens, right? Make sure you know who you're dealing with. See, like, I don't like to bring a lot of scientific, theories, because some of them are not theories, right? Into these aspects of communication, because I will have to actually sit down with a lot of you live and have people come, like, literally sitting down. I can make videos about this, but I know I'm going to be flagged for the fact that I know things that they're going to consider a conspiracy theory. They're either going to consider a conspiracy theory and trying to ban my video or destroy the narrative of my video, or they're going to try to shut down my content. I'm not afraid of posting any of these things, but for the sake of the people, right? I want you guys to understand that some things that I say, I'm not really using too much of code words. I'm giving you deliberate words for you to understand, like, in a certain mindset, for you to picture what I'm telling you about the spiritual realm. There are going to be a lot of people that are going to lie to you. A lot of people, especially in this new age, sometimes I look at certain people and I laugh, because they don't even know what I know with all of these prophetic words. Listen, if you don't even know exactly who you're praying to, what are the chances for me to sit down and really assimilate to a video that you make of me? You get what I mean? And you got to remember this: there's a spirit of religion. When something doesn't match in the truth, right? Mind you, your integrity, like I said, is important. Is very much important. If you do not have integrity, you don't have anything. Your integrity is very important, because once you no longer have integrity, you don't have loyalty, you don't have trust. Once you no longer have your integrity, you no longer have trust, and you don't You no longer, excuse me, whew, you no longer have trust and loyalty. And that's why there's a lot of toxic people, because they have been betrayed. And what they do is, because they were betrayed, they start betraying other people. You have to remember this. When things are happening in the spiritual realm, right? And when you're being contradicted, your mind is a very, 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 very important part, including your heart. Your emotion are doors. It's not because you're watching. You know that we all know that how you feel is exactly how you react, and what you retain, and what you keep, and what you accept, and what you reject. It's how you feel. These are doors. People say that your eye gates, your ear gates, your mouth gates, whatever, your hand gates, whatever the case is. Yes, those are important as well. But your emotion, that's why when you get into conversations, you dispute with people that are not necessary for you to dispute with, because you know better and you already know what is happening, right? You don't allow and you don't give those demons and those devils and those fallens power by arguing. You don't do that. It don't matter how much they want to argue, whatever the topic is about, whatever the subject is about. If you be better off not saying nothing. You would be better off not saying nothing. Because at the end of the day, understand that once you give them that opportunity, right, they're going to keep using that as a filter to keep trying to attack you. They don't even know. See, that's another thing. A lot of people are so like, when you ask for forgiveness and you are redeemed, right, it's to make you new. So when you are being made new, right, by Yahuwah, right, your demons, your devils, your the fallens that keep inflicting you, they're not gonna recognize you, because when those dark entities, right, do not know how to attack you, that's how you know that you are changing as a person. That's how you know that your spirit is elevating. When they are conflicted and confused on how to attack you, that is how you know that's how you know that your level of intensity when it comes to the Holy Spirit is increasing, because you're stepping into another plane of an understanding. With knowledge comes a great responsibility, right? And a lot of people say that all the time, but they don't really understand how important that really is. They don't understand how important it really is. When you have knowledge, right, it's like giving a whole, what's the best word? It's like giving a library. Somebody just hands you the key to the library. When you have knowledge, true knowledge of the origin, not just nature, but of the origin, because there's a difference between concepts which is created from constructs of this reality, and actual knowledge which is the foundation. When you have knowledge of the foundation of reality, right, it helps you understand exactly how you're walking in life. It helps you understand what you're dealing with in life. Your enemies will not know who you are, because they don't know who and how Yahuwah has changed you. You can even tell them, because look at this like this. Every day when we pray, right, we're not supposed to pray for people to die. We're supposed to pray for the elevation of the person who's attacking you, so that they can get the type of mindset and they can be saved. They can get the type of mindset to be saved, right? But when you're praying for that to happen, do you not know that the more that they attack you, right, the more they're going to be confused, the more that they're going to be exploited, meaning they're going to be exposed, they're going to be put to shame. The more they attack you, the more they're going to be put to shame. That's how that works. That's all I pray about. I don't pray for those that do witchcraft, whatever the case is, against me to die. No. I pray that a fair judgment is given upon us all, right? So that when things come, they are exposed. I don't want them to die. I don't want them to lose nothing. I just want them to understand that yes, what you did, you know that that was wrong, and you should have not done that from the beginning, because you can obviously see that I am protected. You can see that I'm not walking in fake, I'm not being fake. The Holy Spirit is true, and that I am truly protected. You can see that. But because you want to be stubborn, right? You're going to lose a lot of what you thought you were going to get, and 10 times more, because that's how that usually happens. Everything you thought was going to be a possibility, the stars that you thought you were swallowing up their energy and all of this stuff, you're going to lose everything that you have. Because why? When you were given the understanding, right? This is the previous chapter too. This is I believe in chapter 97. I believe that chapter 97, as far as what you're given will be reduced. It's another term on how they used it, but what you're given will be reduced. It will be reduced. It will be reduced. It will be reduced. And the reason why it will be reduced is because you paid not attention. Meaning what? When the knowledge was given to you, right? When the information was said to you, you heard it. You saw it. You were told these informations, and you did not take heed as to one time what was told to you. You rather been stubborn, right? And continue to follow in the path of darkness. That's how these things work. But let's get into the word. And this is going to be in Psalms 101, right? Chapter 101, Chronicles of Psalms, 10 seconds, all right? Ha ha ha. We're almost close to 30 minutes. We're going to make this a little fast. And we're going to go all the way to 100. Yeah. We're going to read chapter 101 and chapter 100. All right, let's get started. Will of your mercy, Elohim, and praise your judgment day. Will of your mercy, I will of your mercy. My apologies. I will love in your mercy, Elohim, and praise you daily, and praise you, and praise your judgment daily. I behave in accordance to your will. For when you show me how, so for when you show me how, so that I can be at peace even at home. I will not allow my eyes to witness wicked things before me, for I hate the acts of which is evil, and at will, and it will cling unto me. My apologies. English. All right. Those who are hard headed will not be by my side, and they'll be cut off access to me and my attention, because majority of them speak negative towards me to my neighbors, for they are arrogant and they enjoy their works of deceptions and suffering. That's basically the same thing as sabotage. For those that abide here, there will be my responsibility, for only those that walk in truth will aid me in all my tasks. I must complete my apologies. Let me repeat that one more time. For those that abide here, there will be my responsibility, for only those that walk in truth will aid me in all my tasks I must complete, given by Yahuwah. Those that exploit their given tasks in deceptions will not be surrounded will not surround themselves to me. I will give them the option to destroy themselves away from the land with their wickedness by exile. So it's saying, yes, your heart posture, you gotta know that it doesn't matter who is around. Let them know that evil cannot continue, because it's gonna get from close to very far to very far to very far, so much to a point where they can no longer reach you, and they're not gonna know how to reach you, and they're gonna get desperate. And you know what? This is how the devils, right, the demons and the fallens, they use those type of situations. Meaning, when somebody's already doing something bad, And when they no longer have access, they go even beyond the excessive of needs to attain what they want to get. And you know what happened? They fall in their own trap because why? They went beyond something that they don't even know. Meaning now they lost control over what they wanted to do, and they no longer have an ability to gain it back. So what happens when you owe the devils and the demons something because you made a contract and you're not able to pay it off? They come and collect. They come to collect. All right. So we're gonna go to Psalms 100. This is a very short one. All right. I'll start it, and it's a very short one too. By the way, again, make a joyful noise unto Eli, all that abides on these lands. Serve Elohim with the heart of true intent with joyful singing. Know who our master is, our creator, for we are his people, for we come of him, right? Pass through the doors that are guarded and enter with gratitude in his designated realms and give him praise upon these acts of kindness. For Elohim is kind to many, he is merciful and to many as well, and his truth is in all forever. So, where is your heart posture? Is your heart posture in truth or is it in deception? Are you true or are you fake? Everything that we've been talking about, it has to do with your emotion. A lot of people are emotional in the wrong way. And yes, there's such a thing. Those type of things exist. Being emotional in the wrong aspect of life, where somebody can be angry but don't even know why they're angry. And what do we consider that? I just told you what the meaning of spirit means. It's a consciousness of an effect. So being angry is called wrath, right? So if it's a consciousness, that means it's an entity separated from a body. So the effect of a consciousness that is not a part of you has come and attached itself to you. And now it controls you because you gave it an opening, you gave it a door for it to control you, right? So because of that, what then? Now you are possessed. Because if you let one demon in, the rest are going to come to try to attack. Bars. Bars. Bars, okay? Bars, straight bars. Da 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 da. Bars. Remember what I said. Contradiction is the first thing that will mess you up with integrity. It will. Contradiction, because conspiracy come with contradiction. Conspiracy come with blasphemy. Conspiracy comes with a lot of things that are untrue. Some conspiracies are really not conspiracies. It's just the narrative of how it was, delivered is what makes it a conspiracy. Because if you give somebody, it's like telling the truth, right? But then you don't tell somebody the whole truth. Is it really considered the truth, or is it still a deception or and a lie? It's like saying that, oh, I walked to the bathroom at 2:30, but then somebody asked me, when did you go to the bathroom? I said, I kind of walked around 2 something. That's still a lie. Doesn't mean that it's like you might have situations where you don't think too much about it, but it's still considered a lie. It is still considered a lie. We just don't think about the little things too. And remember, that's why we pray every single day for the things that we don't know, because truth is actually reality. Truth is peace. It doesn't mean disrespect or death, meaning you don't speak death or disrespect towards anyone. Truth is reality. Everything that we see is truth, meaning the concept of gravity is truth. The seas is truth. Your perception is truth. Your eyes, what it sees is truth. Now, people say that the Matrix is not real. No, the Matrix is real. It's just the perception of what we were allowed to give it is true. It's just that we're not controlling it. Yes, we can manipulate matter, but why would you want to attain something that we're not supposed to attain? Everybody wants to talk about gods, like the lowercase g's, right? And over here, I always need to remind you, brothers and sisters, that understand that there are angels for a reason. Because if I was to tell you that, what if, right, Yahuwah was not in heaven right now, right? And he was not sitting in his throne, but he was sitting, because mind you, omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent, right? Means that he's everywhere, right? But what if I tell you that he's not directly in heaven, right? And he's in everything, meaning his words is literally the shockwave of his exact presence. Think about what I just said. For a lot of people that don't understand what I just said, I'm gonna give you a better explanation, right? If somebody is in everything, if somebody is the personification of life itself, meaning the exact formula as to what everything needs to stand for it to live, right? What does that mean when we're talking about atoms and molecules and all of these things? The law of singularity, everything is one and the same. So that means what? Your creator is even in the objects, right? That is not really living. That is not even really living. Your phones, concrete, cement, they're all alive. Why was something that's not alive obeyed, right? To have a certain concept to change it, right? Let's put it like this. If something can be created, doesn't it mean it can be destroyed? Now, in the aspect of destruction, there's a cycle that just doesn't destroy anything, because even when something is burned to ashes, it still plays a part of a cycle, but it's never really, it never perished where it ceased to exist. We just don't see it in that format, because the ashes can be beneficial, and it could be nutrients to something. It can benefit something that we don't even see. So that means everything that we are and we are part of plays a very big part. So your heart posture gives you the perception of who Yahuwah is, the like mindedness of how he is and who he is to you. So if you question him, you're questioning yourself. That's why the Bi and the Bow, right? The Bi and Bow is very important. Well, that's just one of them. But the Bi and Bow is very important when it comes to understanding who you are, because Christ came as Yahuwah, but he was Yahuwah in the flesh, representing us as the perfect example, so we can follow him. Him being the perfect condition to Yahuwah's expectations. Yes, we can manipulate matter. Am I going to tell people how to manipulate matter? No. Maybe I do know how to manipulate matter. Maybe I don't. Right? But I will tell you this. You have to start from a place of hope. That's the first place to start at. Hope. Even when things are going against your favor, why do you think people consider miracles miracles if it's not hope? Somewhere in the back of your mind, you imagine an entire scenario of a planet, of a system, of a galaxy, of a realm that you don't even know you put your energy into, and you really, really, really put your energy to open those doors for those type of realities to shift. And they were given access to you by your father. Because mind you, your name are every a lot of people's names are everybody that existed in this world. Their names was once written in a book. For those that their names are not yet erased in the book, you have an opportunity. It's not that your name it has to be written in a book. No, your name is written in a book. That's why you exist. Because the moment is deleted. I don't know if any of you have ever watched the book Enchanted and all of these things, when things are written and it comes to life, and all of these movies, these little Disney Pix movie. Yes, they tell you about a lot of stuff too. Disney don't hide much. Your name, the archives of all our names, all things that have lived in all existence, it is written in a book. And the worse that you do, the more that you do, the more chaos that you create, the more your name is erased. You don't cycle back into a new being. You don't. This is not a reincarnation. You do not cycle back into a new being. You are gone. People want to live for so long that they would rather make a deal and then disappear and then return back into this world in a different body because they know what the word is. They know the rules. They know that you can't live in the same body for too long because that's not the law of this reality. They want to prolong the law. They want a new body. Like I told you, they want your body. They want your body. They want your body. If they cannot have your body, what's the purpose? These devils and demons and fallens, they want your body, like I said. It's your body that they want. They don't want nothing else. Because the same way that they used to live by drinking every day, by fighting every day. And they want that feel, they want that acceleration, they want that praise when people used to worship them. Because they were the ones that were being worshipped by people. All of these pagan, that's the word that I was looking for earlier. Pagan, activities. This is where the Norse realms, all of these North religions, Greek mythologies come from, because of those pagan worshippers. The reason why we have all of the holidays that we have nowadays, like Christmas, Easter, all of these things, Halloween. And you know what's funny? The church were the ones that established Halloween. Can you believe that? Isn't that funny? The church. The church. The saints. The priests. Now, I'm not talking about the older years. I'm not talking about like the 15, 14, 13, 1200s. No, I'm talking about the present saints. I'm talking about like the 1700s, 1600s. They established Halloween and all of these things. And if it's not the 1600s, it's one of them type of centuries. And I don't mind looking it up for you. I just know what I'm telling you is the truth. And if you want to look it up, you go ahead. Be my guest. Because who else created St. Patrick's Day? Look at the origins of the people that are in power. You gonna tell me if they're not related? Majority of them. Majority of them are related. Majority, not a few here and there. That's why when you hear a lot of rappers, artists, they have kids, unknown kids, and all of these kids and baby mamas that have never been seen on TV, that has been hidden away, and all of these things is because of these things that I was telling you. They want bodies. They want people to possess. That's why a lot of movies are always the same. A lot of TV shows are always the same. A lot of musics are always the same. They use the same, like, fam. Like, think about it. I watched a video recently about Orlando Brown. And I kind of laughed my lungs out because the dude was telling people where man was telling people exactly what people needed to hear. But then, as the words is, if you have ears to hear, you will hear. Right? Give me one moment. If you have eyes to see, you will see. So if you are listening to what that man is telling you and you still don't believe as to what's going on in those parties and all of these things that's happening amongst them individuals, you got to remember this: the Illuminati is not really a thing. It's just a name. All of it is really called just a cult, a satanic cult. That's all it is for real. Altogether, to really narrow it down, it's just a satanic cult. Simple. If somebody tell you that the Illuminati, the person is a part of the Illuminati, right? A part of the Illuminati, right? What do they go? What do you think? Like, a lot of people died trying to reveal things. So that means that he was told he was told to come and give people information. And why? Because they mock people. Because they will tell you the truth, and you just won't believe it because you never even thought about believing it because of trends. One person said he's crazy. One person said this and that and that, this and that and that and that and that and that and then the third. Everything requires a sacrifice when it comes to them. They believe in the law of conversion, transmutation, and all of these things, which are concepts of this reality, but that's alchemy and magic. Oh, a lot of people that are not really into science, pseudoscience. I'm very, 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 very well versed when it comes to a lot of stuff. Just because I'm not saying too much on here doesn't mean that I don't know a lot. That's why I said we have to hop on a place where we can go live and we can talk about these things, where I can talk about these things all day. You can take as many notes as you want, and prepare yourself, because these things are not a joke. People are literally out here walking zombies, where they're alive, but they don't have full control over themselves, because the moment they even come out to even try to tell you, a demon, devil, or fallen is gonna come up out of the surface of their water, right, and then put on my suit. Yeah, you're not about to talk and tell them the truth about anything. Possessed. A lot of people that got handlers are the ones that are able to withstand those demons, and those demons don't have much of an effect on them. Simple. He said something very funny. When you get to a certain place, a certain levels, more rules, more things that you have to abide by. It sounds like it's the same thing like Christianity, but commandments and stuff like that. But it's just bizarre, bizarre rules. He said something like, "Oh, people can't give somebody $500,000 and all of this stuff." Why not? Because why? It's gonna mess up the plane of their mathematics, and they're gonna have to do some cleaning up. They're either gonna have to bring the person in their their table, and present to them what their operation is, or they're just going to destroy the person's image if that person allows them to do so. Those are the only options. Either they're going to try to hurt you, or they're going to try to bring you in. They're not like, look, if it takes a whole bunch of people to take one person down, doesn't it show the strength of those people? Think about that. It shows the strength of that person. Highly. Not even low key. Highly. That means your spirit is on quality, not quantity. Quality. On maximum, like on max mode, like non-stop. Quality. So when you listen to these artists, celebrities, whatever, influencers, right, whatever you want to call them, I want you guys to start listening to what they do, watching what they do. Some of them, you know, familiar to me, right? Um, they would do things that would be repetitive against that could be triggering to you, or that should be triggering to you, right? Because that is, it's not really a thing for me. It's either I don't rock with it or I rock with it. That's just how I am. I'm either yes or no. I'm not in between. Maybe, maybe not. No, like I used to be like that, but now it's like, yo, if it's something that I need to do, I'm gonna do it. If it's not, it's not. It's just that simple. I'm not here for money. I'm not here for sex. I'm not here for attention, power, money, whatever the case is that is not really beneficial to my father's, word. People would tell you that you have to wear a suit. You have to wear a dress shirt. You have to wear a button-up shirt for you to talk about Christ. Where does it say that in the Bible? Where does it say that in His Word? Where does it say that at all? Because mind you, if I'm not correct, right, isn't the luxurious things that are ordinate, right, to for people to have or to wear? Isn't that what is told for us to not really have too much of? Because that's where ego comes from. That's where people are using seduction to bring more people rather than the word of which is supposed to connect to that person. Yes, you're supposed to look presentable. You shouldn't be looking dirty or nothing like that. But you know, why do I have to look a certain way for people to like what I'm saying? If it's not the message, then what are you here for? Like you get what I'm saying? If it's not the message, then you're here for the wrong purpose. If you're not here to listen to what I'm saying, you're here for the wrong purpose. You get what I mean? It's not about what I wear, it's about the message. Did you understand? Did you get the message? Did you get it? Because if you didn't get the message, then that means that you didn't understand what was said. It's not that I didn't say what I said, and wrong, or I was wrong saying what I said. No, I said what I said properly, and I said it in a way that could be understood. So if you want to do your research, you can go and do your research, and you look up all of these terms and like listen to every word that I tell you. Because like I said, Orlando Brown, he gave people the public words for people to look at, and people are just watching these things. Oh, I'm amazed, and it's not him that's speaking. Because like I said in my previous videos, you can tell when you're speaking to a demon or not. You can tell when you're speaking to legions or not. You can tell when you're speaking to any spirit that is not of good intent or not. Characteristics, their attributes, the way that they act fluid, right? They're fluid. And that don't mean they act flamboyant or anything like that. It's just that the type of way, the way that they speak, they talk like they don't care. Some of them they talk like they're possessive. Some of them they talk really nice, but then you can always tell because there's a certain trick they can't see. One thing about demons is when they possess somebody, they can't stay in character forever. Once you get to know them more and more and more and more and more and more and more, their spirit starts to reveal who they are truly. Their spirit starts to reveal their in their character of who they are really, and you see it with your own eyes. You might not see much if you're not really woke or have your eyes open. You might not even peep it until it's too late. But you see a lot. Like I said, what is spirit? A conscious, right? Effect. You can't be in the so-called Illuminati unless you have a spirit in you, or you have the potential to carry a spirit or spirits right in you, because that's exactly what they're going to get you to do eventually. Then you might not have it yet. They may give you things, whatever the moment is, because you're able to provide maybe money, right, at the moment. But what do you think once you run out of certain things to give, they're gonna want? And when you no longer have this and that, they're gonna call you and be like, "Hey, look, you haven't been able to bring this to the table, and we need you to do this. If you don't, it's gonna be problems." I'm just saying. I'm not. Just look at the letter M, right? 13. Let's look at 13. I want you guys to look that up. The sword, the flaming sword, the knights, from the castles, from all of these Baals, all of these idols where they were worshipped at, where people were called kings and they were not ordained by Yahuwah to be kings. These are the monarchies and the hierarchies of the false what? The false gods, the small entities, the entities that are considered, you know, uh, I wouldn't consider even them. I wouldn't even consider them noble spirits, but that's the word. That's an actual word. Noble spirits. I'm telling you guys a whole lot of stuff. A lot of you guys watch my videos and some don't watch my videos fully. But I want you guys to really go back to every word that I tell you because it could be really important for you. It needs to be understood that everything that is going on right now is not a joke. It's a tactic of manipulation. Like I said, seduction, conviction, and what temptation. All of these things bring for the formalities of so many bad things that can cause you misery and you don't even realize it until it's late. But yeah, enough talking about negativity. We're gonna jump into a positivity and good positivity, like I always end the videos. This is about love. Please show love to people. Don't be toxic. Okay, and there are a lot of people going through stuff right now, so have hope in what you believe. There are a couple of people that need to start either stop talking to the people that are not really giving them, words of encouragement. There are a lot of people that need to stop doing that. There are a lot of people that need to live for themselves rather than people's expectations. If you're not made for someone, please don't go out here just sleeping with anybody because a lot of people are not with, like, especially people that are true followers. They don't just go out here sleeping with anybody, putting their body parts in people's body part. Like they don't just do that. I don't care if you call yourself, you consider yourself Christian, right? A true follower of Christ. You don't fornicate because it doesn't matter if you're using protection or you don't have kids. It doesn't matter if you're not in a relationship or married. If you are having sex before marriage, that's still a form of fornication. Because the chances of you having a kid before marriage is highly, and imagine that you don't have the money to get married because that's exactly the type of world we're in now where you need to be having a whole bunch of money to pay this and that and that and that and the third. Spend $50,000 to $100,000 for a vineyard type of marriage place, whatever the case is, for beautiful scenery. Yes, go somewhere you think you need to enjoy yourself. But I talked about marriage before. A lot of people get married by the law of the marine spirit. That's why there's a lot of divorces nowadays, not just because of toxicity. And that's the reason why a lot of y'all, y'all don't understand this. You guys don't understand this. You guys don't understand this. It's not even a joke. It's a real thing where people are out here really under the influence of those marine spirits, the Jezebels, the Lilith, all of these natural, pantheons that that used to be, worshipped as pagan gods, right? Um, all of these spirits, these are a lot of what people are getting their names attached to, and people don't know that. People do not know that. That's why there's a lot of failed relationships, failed marriages out here. And people think why their kids are born, fluid in certain things, besides them exposing them to those things as well. It's not a joke. It is not a joke. Where do you think romance come from? and it's so close to bromance. Like, listen, the Romans were not a joke when it came to all of that same sex stuff. They were not joking around. And I know this is the topic of love, right? But the Romans, every other nation were not rocking with that, and they took over, and they we have what, a Roman clock, a Roman time. We have romance. We have everything that is Roman like in this entire economy, in this populace of a society. I'm just saying. Maybe I'm a little bit crazy. I'm a little bit of a nut, right? A lot of people don't realize all of these things. Like I said, the Norse god and all of these things, all of these mythologies are coming from pagan worship. From pagan worship. We are depriving ourselves from things that are meant to happen. Understand that authority is given to you. So your relationship is based on how you're guided. But I'm giving you guys keys on how you should operate. If this is nothing but a reminder, that's why I put in my videos every time before I end my video. It's a reminder. Especially for those that are toxic and you just don't know how to be toxic. Understand that you're toxic because you're under an influence of a spirit that makes you toxic. If you want a real relationship, understand that you cannot be doing exactly what you think is wrong, right? When you're just following ego. When what is wrong, you're just following ego. Follow your heart. That first mind, that first thought that came in your mind. Oh, go and travel. Go and find this person here. Go and text this person. Go and do whatever the case is. Do that. It doesn't matter what people say, because at the end of the day, you don't know exactly what's going to happen. You might get a superpower. You might get a superpower. You might learn to fly. You might learn to fly. You might be the Flash, the new Flash in this world. Who knows? Who knows? Don't let things and people of don't let dead things stop you because it doesn't have the ability to have hope. Don't let things that are dead make you dead because you're not dead inside. You could have been, but you were not chosen to be dead. You were chosen to be alive. So be alive. Be well alive with the life that you're given, because it's like giving a second chance every day that you breathe. Don't let people confuse you and put you into a situation where you feel like you have to be like them. Like they have to. The only way they can appreciate you is because of how you make them feel based on their expectations. No, if they're giving you something that's important for you to understand, yes. But a lot of them, they follow their heart, being the reason why they're in the situations that they're in right now. Did you think about that? While they're in these type of situations, they're in these situations because they follow their heart, and they're telling you not to, but then at the same time they're also stopping you from doing something that is supposed to be for you, something that can be actually beneficial for you. They're stopping that. So please listen to your heart. Listen to your heart. And if you believe in Christ, pray unto Christ, and he will guide you, and he will remind you, he will give you a steadfast mind that will put you in a place where you, right, can start walking. Because when you see, Christ is he's the eldest son. We are children. We are babes. We are of our father's, you know, promise, his throne. Meaning what? The eldest son is here to hold our hand and to guide us on how we can start walking by ourselves. We can start elevating on our own. That's the eldest. That's the literally the eldest son. The eldest son. Literally. Peep the words that I use, please. peep the words that I use, because I will tell you the words that I use, but I won't tell you, just so that you can actually listen to everything that I tell you, so you can do your own research on everything that has been, or that has already been said. That's why he's the eldest son, so he can hold our hand until he no longer has to hold our hand, and even and only hold our hand when we really need to, when he really needs to hold our hand, when we are scared, when we are afraid, when we don't know any better, when we don't have insight on things that we cannot see, we cannot hear, we cannot feel in our everyday life. Just because he doesn't hold your hand in everything doesn't mean that he's not there. He's there when you need him to be, ready to help you in every way that you want, that you need. So don't let yourself fall. Don't allow yourself to be a victim of somebody's charade, and don't let them parade over your shine. You accomplished a lot. You're a person. You're a person. Like, you are a person. You are deemed to be alive because you were given their life, because you have a purpose. Stop letting people make you feel less than. Start believing in yourself and what you feel, and stop being toxic. And yes, you right there, because we're all W's, and it's our will that we are making things to be enough, to be sharp enough for us to understand what we're dealing with. All right, just saying. W's are two V's put together, so that's two victories for you and your father, for you and Elohim. So if you are the child, that's a victory for you, because if your father got the victory, what makes you a victor? Literally, not a victim, a victor. You're a conqueror. But also understand, for men, understand that you are a man, and let a woman treat you like a man. If you're a woman, understand that you're a woman, and treat your man and treat your man like a man, and allow your man to treat you like a woman. Stop all of this fighting stuff, because that's the reason why. Because we don't know our place, and trust me, it sounds horrendous, especially because of this time and age. But it's much easier to understand when you don't think too hard about it. When I say know your place, just think about why people are fighting every day in their relationships. They have everything they need, they have everything they want, but they still cannot come to an understanding. Why? Don't be like your peoples. Don't be like those that don't really understand things that they want to understand, and they're reading about, they're doing research about, but they still don't comprehend. They can know everything about mathematics, finances, but love is a very easy and difficult thing to master and to understand, because love is a universal thing. Love is what you make it. It's not what people tell you what it is, because love don't come the way that you expect. It comes the way that you are needed. That you need it to be. It's not something that you would want, but something that you need. Okay? So, to finalize my words, I said enough. I hope that these words were helpful to you. If I gotta break this 30 minutes per 30 minutes, I will do so. So please, keep the words into your heart. And if somebody did not tell you they love you today, I love you. I love you. I love you. Mm. I gotta get something very basic, because my throat reflex is definitely coming up right now, and it's feeling very acidic. Gotta get some base related things to congest. But yes, be fruitful, be favorable, Be merciful. Allow Yahuwah to show you all of these things as well. Be very knowledgeable. Be discerning. All right. Be forgiving. Be loving. Truly. Stop with the Amish acts. Yes, you. Puffy hair. All right. Afro. That's the best way to use Afro hair, braids, whatever that you want, man or woman. Right. We all got feelings, so stop it.